Happy Tuesday, Wolfpack. Welcome to another month and another gear review, because after the first one, I guess people thought I'd be interested in checking out other things, and I am. However, I came to realize I don't actually have as much time to test out most things these days. But I wanted to give this a try because I travel a lot, and I kind of am interested in something like a portable synthesizer guitar effector, as it says on here, with 5 classic effectors: reverb, chorus, flanger, overdrive, wow, and wah-wah, which I'm assuming is like a wah-wah effect, and or like an auto-wah effect or something like that. We'll be doing some testing on it in just a little bit. I just wanted to show you what kind of packaging it comes in. It is sent from China, though that shouldn't deter you necessarily, though I will say that this has a lot of competition in its price point. There's a lot of different groups and things like that do things like this, but this is the only one that has like 5 different effects on it, and it has a built-in Bluetooth, so you can actually sync your phone up to it and then play your, if you want to practice along to stuff on your phone, you can have your phone charging it across the room while you practice with this with a pair of headphones or into something else, because I think it comes with a separate cable too, but we'll get in there. And it's got it's a lithium battery. So let's get this open. This just came in this box, by the way. Like, it was in a big box from Amazon, and it came like this. So let's get this open right here, and we'll open this up. And so that comes off, that's very tight, actually. And it comes in, there's the unit itself. Pretty nice size. And it has got a swivel on it, so you can kind of angle it against your guitar body the best you can. It's got a micro USB port right there, and a headphone jack right there as well for, that usage. And then there's a mode and a power button on right that. So let me just do this, because I realized there. So you can see that this is actually like the exact shape. So this isn't going anywhere. So you shouldn't have to worry about breaking and shipping. So that's kind of nice. And then let's just, there. Oops, dumped it out. Okay, so, it comes with this is actually a nice little bag, better than Fallout 76 bag. So if you want to carry it, you don't have to keep the box, although the box might be the safest way. And it comes with a charging cable, micro USB, although I think most of us probably have 1,000 of these, unless you're diehard iPhone users. And this is an interesting type of cable. I guess if you wanted to plug it into an amplifier or a stereo thing, because it is actually a stereo TRS quarter to a stereo eighth, so you could plug, and it's nice and long too, so you could plug this in to some kind of speaker system if you wanted it portable. I guess we'll have to see if that holds up. I will use this cable for it because it's the most convenient, and we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, so all right, packaging is pretty good. We'll be right back, and I'll get into testing it. I'll use my baritone guitar. The funny thing is, with guitar, I typically don't find like I need stuff like this because I can hear it well enough acoustically. The bass, I think, because it says it's only got a 50 hertz to 18 kilohertz frequency response, so I think that maybe that would be a little bit too much for bass. So what I'll do is grab the baritone guitar, nice mid-range, also harder to hear, if you're out and about somewhere. So, all right, I will be right back to do that testing. All right, so we are back, and we're going to test this out. Now, I wanted to show you how this works. See, this is how it would end up usually looking. You could pull it back a little bit. I've already got it plugged into my interface, but so on the side here, as I showed you before, there's buttons, and so you just want to hold the one button until a light turns on. You can kind of see it in this light, but a light will turn on. It'll be a blue light. Right now, it's on the reverb setting, since that's the last thing I tested. And you can hear that coming right through, and it sounds pretty okay. And one thing I want to mention is, you can hear that. This is the reverb setting. But it has a little bit of like some of the other effects in it. So that's one thing you want to just keep in mind. Now, this does have a couple of different effects. And you can hear the reverb. I mean, it is doing a reverb thing. Like, it's not, it's not lying to you or nothing, but. There's also a little bit of phasing, so that's just something to keep in mind. We'll just run through. Here's a volume, so if you want to turn it down, I'm not going to do that. The Bluetooth works like any Bluetooth headphone. I'm not going to go over that. It really does work very well. It's clean. You can use it to play down, and you adjust the volume with your smartphone. That's fine. So that's the Reverb. As you can see, it has a little bit of like a wah-wah effect on it, and we'll get to that in a second. The next one is Chorus. Except it's like almost like a small overdrive instead. Which isn't bad, right? Like, I don't have a problem with that necessarily. What I do have a problem with is that it's just, I mean, like it's not a clean chorus effect. Like, there's definitely a little bit in there, but it doesn't, do that. So we'll move on to the next. The next one is Flanger. Now this one's extra confusing to me. Because first of all, there's like a couple millisecond delay between when I'm actually hitting the note and when it's coming through, which is weird. It's also got a reverb on it too. I mean, it's still a flange. It's still got a little bit of a flange going on. It's a very light flange. And you can't adjust any parameters either. You just get the 5 modes. I mean, it's just a little weird. Now, it's a little noisy, but my favorite effect is the distortion, because it's actually just a raunchy. Like, that's just a really cool, just grimy distortion effect. Now, you can hear underneath that there's a little bit of gross noise along with it. But if I'm just practicing, like, this is a practice thing. Like, this is what you throw on a plane with your guitar or throw in your bag so you don't have to carry an amp with you if you know you're going to be in a hotel room for a while, still want to practice, don't want to disturb anybody. And like, I would honestly use this more for bass or baritone guitar where the instrument just doesn't speak as much. Because even acoustics can get pretty loud. So it does work for that. And then it's got the wow-wah effect. That's what it's listed as, is wow-wah. And you only get one tempo, but it is pretty funky. I mean, like, it's okay. It's not a bad thing at all. It's just one of those things where, I wouldn't use it in any sort of performance thing. Now, if you're just doing something with somebody real quick, then maybe it would work out okay. But yeah, so I'll be back with some final conclusions in a second after I put this guitar away so you can actually see my face. Thank you. So this thing, the B6 by Tonor, is not a bad little device. The only thing I have to say is that this is about $40, and so is the Vox AC30, or one of the Vox plugs that are almost exactly like this. They cost about the same amount of money, maybe $5, give or take, in the price point. So what you get for this is you get the Bluetooth, and you get a bunch of different effects that sometimes line up properly, and you get the charger thing. But you have to determine if that Bluetooth functionality and the fact that you have a couple of different things to play with on here are worth using this. Because I mean, obviously you could get a pedal, but that kind of defeats the purpose. The Vox is just one good sound once. Like, that's what it does. So all in all, not a bad little unit, especially if you want the different types of effects. It comes with the cable, which is what the Voxes don't, for like putting it out to, like, I plugged it into my recordings thing without too much effort. It's a kind of an unusual cable you wouldn't use very often. And, so it's not a bad value proposition, and it's not really super cheaply made other than the bleed over with the effects. But, that's what you have to determine. I hope this helps you decide if going for this, which has a couple of different effects, versus the Vox one, which would be something that's just one tone that you can use whenever. But it is definitely a good tool for practicing when you're out and about and you just want to get some reps in, with your fingers, with your instrument, and actually like hear what it would sound like in other situations. So with that, Tonor B6 is a equal sign as far as purchase recommendation. Hope you all have a fantastic rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next one.